Good afternoon. This is the May 11th edition of American Literature and Composition online, presented by the Grace Christian Academy YouTube channel. You should be watching this on May the 11th of 2020 as we continue on with our journey through remote learning. You will all be glad to see that I am socially responsible and wear my cloth mask whenever I leave my residence. So remember that and think about what a good person I am. You're watching this, I hope, on May the 11th. If you will remember, this was the day that your final essays were originally supposed to be turned in. But if you've been paying attention, you know that I have extended your deadline until 5 p.m. on May 14th. I gave you an extra 3 days because of my generosity. So, I hope you're busily working on those. We're going to talk a little bit about them because I have had an opportunity to look at a number of your essays, and I've noticed some common issues that I think we need to talk about, and we will in a moment. But before then, because I am such a soft-hearted person, I'm going to make available to you the opportunity to earn some extra credit on these essays. You will receive an additional 5 points on whatever grade you get on this essay if before May 14th at 5 p.m. you email me the correct answer to the question I'm getting ready to ask. There is only one acceptable answer. I will tell you that I have already told you the answer to this question, and it is available to you. You can find it if you want to. The question is, who is buried in Grant's tomb? That's the question. There is one acceptable answer. Email it to me by 5 p.m. on Thursday, May the 14th, and I will give you an extra 5 points on your essay. Now then, on to relatively common problems in your essays. It looks like a lot of you have a hard time knowing when to use an apostrophe and when not to use an apostrophe. If you have troubled yourself to read your little book, The Elements of Style, you will know that rule number 1 is form the possessive singular of nouns by adding apostrophe s. Follow this rule, whatever the final consonant. So, we would write John's friend, John apostrophe S, friend. We would write Charles's friend, Charles apostrophe S, friend, regardless of what the final consonant of that noun is. You may at times see the possessive of some nouns written Charles apostrophe or James apostrophe. The only explanation for that is laziness. Don't do it. This is the right way. There is not another. You use an apostrophe. Now then, as to possessive pronouns, or the possessive form of pronouns, hers, his, theirs, ours, yours, or its. You don't use an apostrophe there. I don't know why, but that's the rule. No apostrophe there. And its is interesting because it brings us to the other use of an apostrophe in English, and that is to form a contraction of two words, where you turn two words into just one. For example, its, it apostrophe s, as opposed to its, its. It apostrophe s means it is. It's a contraction. Its with no contraction or with no apostrophe is it is the possessive pronoun of it. It means that something belongs to it. A sentence that might help you remember. It's it apostrophe s. It is a wise dog that scratches its own fleas. The fleas belonging to it rather than the fleas belonging to someone else. Remember that. Most of you have had trouble with it. I have not corrected that everywhere that I found it in your papers as you turned them in. You need to go look for it. A lot of you did it a lot of times. It needs to be fixed, so go look for it. Now then, here is something else that I've noticed from several of you, which to me is inexplicable. I suppose there is some reason for it, but I have no idea what it might be. But some of you seem to be, for some reason, enamored of the idea of using archaic, ancient words in places where there is no reason at all to use them. A few examples that I have encountered: betwixt, betwixt, rather than between. Amongst, amongst, instead of among. Whilst, whilst, rather than while. I'm totally confused by this. I have no idea why you would choose to do that, but more than one of you has done so. So let me read what H.W. Fowler, who was during his lifetime the foremost authority on the use of the English language, had to say about that. Archaic words thrust into a commonplace context to redeem its ordinariness are an abomination. Pretty strong words. And he uses betwixt particularly betwixt as an example of that. I would throw in amongst and whilst and several others. And Fowler, this my edition was written in 1965. That's 45 years ago. It was old-fashioned, so old-fashioned as to be an irritant to people. What do you think it is now? If for some reason you think that makes you makes your paper better, let me assure you it doesn't. So please go through your papers and make sure you don't say anything like that. I'll grade you down for it. I am still available to assist you with your essays. Those of you who have taken advantage of the schedule that we set and have written 2 drafts and submitted them to me, I believe all of you have received it back, both drafts, with my comments and suggestions and hints that I thought would be helpful to you, and should be working on them. Those of you who have not done so, I guess you think that your literary talents are such that you don't require my assistance. I am still available if you have specific questions about a specific use of a word, or how to punctuate a particular sentence, or the form of citation or something like that. I'm still available to help you. Don't turn in your entire paper for me to review again, because I've already done it twice for most of you, maybe 3 times for some of you if you asked. So don't do that again. Let's be working on this and getting our papers ready. But if you do have specific questions, I'm more than happy to try to help you. We will have another one of these little lectures on Thursday, although at that time it will probably be too late for me to offer you any help that you haven't gotten already. But we'll talk about a few other things. And after that, we are really ready to wind down. I'll grade these essays, and we'll talk briefly. We'll discuss, I hope, what plans we have for to commemorate the end of your school term, and that will be that. We're approaching the end of all of this. Let me know if you have questions or if I can offer any assistance. Otherwise, we will talk again on Thursday, May the 14th, and I hope to receive your papers by then. Good day.